What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 107, and as you can see today we are starting Season 5 of Career Mode, and as you can also see as well, we are not in England anymore, we're not managing Watford anymore at Vicarage Road, we have moved to a new team for Season 5, and you guys have decided that for Season 5 onwards, we should manage Milan in Italy in the Serie A. So of course, last Sunday I put out a straw poll for you guys, and I let you guys decide what team we should manage from Season 5 onwards, and over 20,000 of you got involved in the voting. Thank you so much for all the voters, over 20,000, just crazy stuff, but the majority of you guys decided out of those 20,000 that we should manage Milan from Season 5 onwards in Career Mode. So thank you very much for getting involved in the voting, guys. If you didn't want Milan, I'm very sorry, but all I can do is make it as fair as possible, and that is by giving you guys the chance to vote, and obviously letting you guys decide what team it should be. And the majority of you guys did vote for Milan, so we are joining Milan here for Season 5, and I'm just so excited for our new chapter and our new adventure here in this Career Mode. And also as well, guys, to thank you guys for staying patient during the week. I'm going to give you the chance for a double upload of Career Mode today, first time in a long time. If you can get this video to 2,000 likes, I'll upload episode number 108 after the final Premier League fixture today. So if you can get this video 2,000 likes, we'll upload the next episode of Career Mode later on tonight. Without further ado though, let's get started for our new journey here at Milan. So here we go then, starting our 5th season in Career Mode and our first season at a new team, joining Milan for our 5th season, and I am so excited for this upcoming challenge with our new team. And after all the success we had with Watford in just 4 seasons, I'm hoping to do the exact same with Milan, turn them into an absolutely fantastic squad in a short space of time and dominate the country and hopefully Europe as well. But we'll have to wait and see. But in the first season, what do the board want us to do with our new side here at Milan? Win the league? They want us to qualify for the Champions League once again. In the Cup, reached around the 16th stage, and in the Champions League, reach a semi-final stage. So the league objective is definitely achievable. Last season in the game, Milan finished in 2nd place behind the winners Juventus. In the Cup, reaching around the 16, we can definitely do that. But in the Champions League, reaching a semi-final could be quite difficult to reach semi-final with this squad. But we have been given £56.5 million, so a really hefty transfer budget with Milan, £56.5 million. And as you can see the squad as well, I must admit, you know, when I showed you this squad on last Sunday, I said when I compared it to the Lazio team, it's probably a little bit better than Lazio's side. It's not, it's worse than Lazio's side. Lazio's side is 5-star, this Milan side is 4.5-star when I checked. So Milan's side is actually not as good as I first thought. So we may be in the Champions League, but this team is not as good as I first thought. It does have some good players, don't get me wrong. El Shaarawy, of course, the standout left winger, 86 overall. 26, I think it is. Looks really decent, but the squad in general is pretty average, I must admit. It's actually not that good, so this side is going to require quite a bit of work, and as you can see as well, just check out how many players have their contracts up come the end of the year. Absolutely ridiculous. So many players only have 1 year left in their contract, and not just average squad players as well, quite a few standouts like El Shaarawy and Nkulu and Baka as well. So this Milan team has quite a few players in their early 30s, quite a few aging players, 3 players retiring come the end of the season, loads of players just 1 year left. We've inherited an aging squad here with Milan, and not a great one either, so this could be a really big challenge for us. We'll have to see whether we can succeed. With £56.5 million though, of course we are going to be looking to sign some new players, and one player who quite frankly we just have to sign is Marco the Magician. Marco Ryan Tala has to come back to this, has to come back in his Career Mode and to come with me to Milan, because Ryan Tala, 86 overall, 21-year-old left winger, has the potential to be special, our scout future star. The fact of the matter is this guy is absolutely unbelievable, and I really do feel as well that this year, if we play like a 4-2-3-1, we could have El Shaarawy on the left cutting into his right to shoot, Ryan Tala on the right cutting into his left to shoot. I think those two could be a deadly wide midfield combination. So Ryan Tala, we put in a £40 million bid, that is his valuation, and Watford accepted it right off the bat. I wasn't even surprised either, because in the game, Ryan Ryan Tala would be considered the third best left winger in the team behind Conor Plianka and Neymar, and that's always something which I found quite common in career mode. When you try and sign a player who is not currently the highest overall for the listed position in that team, then the club that owns the player won't hold you to ransom over his services, or most likely that's how I found anyway. So Ryan Tala, Watford did accept a £40 million deal for him, and Marco Ryan Tala is going to become our first signing with Milan, with our new team, for £40 million. So Marco, we just had to get him to Milan. We just had to bring him back to his native Italy. It's his boyhood club, Milan. He supported a club all his life. We had to get him back to Italy. We had to make him our first signing here at Milan. Our big money signing, £40 million, and I'm really pleased with that as well. 86 overall, left winger, 21 years old, has potential to be special, and I'm really hoping this year that with El Shaarawy on the left, Ryan Tala on the right, those two should be a really deadly wide man combination. So really looking forward to that, and Ryan Tala is our first signing with our new club here at Milan. So that took out most of the transfer budget with the first signing right there. So for new players to come in with Milan, well, I actually started looking at the free agents list first and foremost to look for some players on the cheap. Typical hashtag cheapskate docs here. Looking for players we could sign on a really cheap deal. I mean, you can't get cheaper than free agents, can you? So we looked at these two players right here. Capello, a left back, and Portillo, a striker. Capello, an Italian left back. Portillo, a Paraguayan striker. Not the best Paraguayan I'll be honest, but either way. Bangadino as well. He's an Argentine centre back, 20 years old, 71 overall. We offer these guys contracts because even though their overalls aren't too high, they're young, they could have some decent potential, or some good enough potential anyway, and if nothing else, they'll be squad players on relatively low wages. And because this Milan side is aging, there are a lot of players that are in their early 30s and late 20s. We want to change that, reduce the average age of the squad, bring in some younger players, bring in some fresher faces, and we shall wait and see what those players say after we offer them contracts. But also for real transfers, if you will, buying players from a club. This guy right here could be a decent young centre-back for the future. Siligadi of Sassuolo, a 19-year-old centre-back, 73 overall, looks pretty tasty. Wouldn't mind getting him into the club as a young centre-back to bleed into the first team. Well, pretty much right from the beginning, really, as there are some ageing centre-backs in this team, and we shall wait and see what Sassuolo say. And also as well, in the pre-season tournament too, we got through our group and into the semi-finals. That was great to see, after topping our group with 2 wins and 1 draw, as we got a little bit more tournament prize money for that as well. So if you're new to my career modes, by the way, guys, for pre-season tournaments this year, I'm not going to bother playing them. I did play the final of the first ever one in this series, but from this time out, from now on, I should say, I'm just going to simulate every single game that comes around, as I'm not really fussed about them. But either way, Capello declined his first contract. This guy could be an absolute steal as well. 21 years old, 72 overall, rated left back. Could be a real big steal for us. Real steal for us. And Bangadino as well also declined his contract as well. So the free agents not happy with the contracts we're offering, and Portillo does the exact same as well. But one player is going to be sold from here at Milan. Sold at Milan here is Nigel de Jong, the Dutch midfielder, 34 years old, 81 overall, which is pretty decent, but he's going to go to Valencia for a few £1 million. We don't really want to keep on these aging players, even if they do have a first team role to play, because for me, I'm more fussed about bringing in the younger players to replace those older players, because they could do a good job in the first or second seasons for us, but for me, they're on relatively high contracts. They're players who, are coming towards the end of their careers, the latter stages of their careers. I'd rather bring in younger players, and if we can just get a little bit of scratch for them, I'll take that and try and sign some replacements for them. But Portillo, as you can see, the Paraguayan striker, we offer him a new contract there as he declined his first one before getting into our semi-final of the pre-season tournament against Sevilla. The Spanish side took the lead, and sadly for us, we never recovered and ended up losing the game by 3-0. So we didn't get through to a pre-season tournament final. We did get knocked out in the semi-finals, but I don't really mind too much. That's fine with me. And also, how about this? We had a bid for this young striker in our team here called Daniel Barja Afonso, a 64 overall, 19-year-old striker. Bayern Munich wanted to take him to the Allianz Arena, but I thought to myself last night when I was getting this footage, I was considering it, but then I thought to myself, is this guy Fernando Torres' regen? Because he's Spanish, he's a young striker, Torres has only recently retired. I was thinking, maybe this guy's Fernando Torres' regen, because obviously Torres is owned by Milan. Right now in real life, he's on loan at Atletico Madrid, but when he retired, I'm pretty sure he was still at Milan in the game. So is this guy Torres' regen? Possibly. I guess we just have to consider the fact that he probably could be, and that's why I want to keep him here instead of selling him. But either way, we are going to make 2 more signings with Milan after the Ryan Tala signing, but they're 2 free agent signings, Capello and Bangadino Pellegrino are going to come in on free transfers. Both of these players right here, I don't predict them having major roles in this Milan side during our stint here, but Bangadino is 20 years old, 71 overall rated centre-back, some okay stats, 6 foot, and also, as you'll see as well, he is showing great potential, which is really nice to see for a free agent coming in. And also Capello as well, 72 overall, 21-year-old left-back, looks pretty decent, no stats for him sadly, but still looks alright, and on a free agent, not going to say no to that, even if he just comes a squad player for us and isn't a first-team player, we'll have to wait and see. But still, following that, Siligardi, once again, Sassuolo rejected a bid for their young centre-back, 73 overall, 19 years old. I think this guy could be one of those players who goes, gets thrown straight into the first team and does really, really well for us for many years to come. So I really want to wrap up this deal as soon as possible. If we can get him on the cheap, I'll be very happy. We put in a bit of £3 million plus Simic, I think it was, and we shall wait and see what Sassuolo say this time round. Would love to get hold of the guy. Think he'd be a really good player for Milan for now and for the future as well, and we shall have to wait and see. But also De Jong has been sold to Valencia, totally fine with that. We don't give too much money for him, but he was an old player, we didn't want him anymore. He's off to the Mestalla, and we'll get a little bit of money for him and try and reinvest that in new players. But also, Portillo becomes our 4th signing of the window so far, and our 3rd free agent as well. He's not showing any great potential or anything, but the Paraguayan striker is currently 71 overall, only 21 years old as well, and as a squad player, once again, on a free agent, not going to say no to that deal. Also, Sassuolo did accept the bill we put in for Siligardi. Really, really pleased with that. £3 million plus Simic. It's not too expensive, and again, he's 19 years old, 73 overall. I think this guy could be really, really good in the future, so we should have to wait and see what he says after we offer him a contract. And as you can see, he does come back to us straight away, declines his contract though, so you have to give him a better deal, and we shall wait and see what he says, because with Milan, as you saw here, the budget we had, £56.5 million, it sounds like a lot, but you got to remember we spent £40 million on Marco Ryan-Tala, so not much is left over, and therefore we need to try and get cheap deals really to make sure that we don't go overboard with Milan in the first season and just put us in the red really right from the beginning. We want to make sure that we're at least having a little bit of money left over for January if we want to do pre-contract signings as well. But either way, Siligardi does accept his deal, as you can see, £3 million plus Simic, a player who we wouldn't be using this year, 73 overall, 19 years old. You'll see his stats right here. Looks pretty decent, I would say. And again, for the fee we paid, £3 million plus Simic, I think it's an absolute steal, really. Some really decent stats to begin with. And again, he's only 19 years old, 6'3", always good to see as well. Low defensive work rate is a little bit of a shame, I'll be honest, but either way, I think he'll still be fine, and I'm happy with that signing. But also as well, for more established signings, I wouldn't say no to buying a new striker. I think we should invest in one, to be honest, this season, because Luis Adriano and Carlos Bacca right now are the main strikers that Milan have, and Luis Adriano is 32 years old, 77 overall. Carlos Bacca is also in his 30s, he's 83 overall, but Bacca, I wouldn't mind giving a new contract to, but Luis Adriano, both Adriano and Bacca have their contracts up coming the end of the year, and I don't think Luis Adriano deserves a new one really. 32 years old. If he was 32 overall, certainly doesn't deserve a new one. 32 years old, 77 overall. I don't think he should get a new contract, and if we can shift him on or swap him out plus some money for a new striker, I think that should be our focus, because Bacca, I wouldn't mind giving him a new contract, but Luis Adriano, I think his time's done now here at the San Siro, and we should look to move him on. But either way, as you'll see, Lyon and Juventus rejected the bids for their 2 players there. Portillo then came in for Luis Adriano, though, funny enough. We said give us £4.6 million, and we shall wait and see what the Spanish side, and also put in a new bid for Nabil Fekir after they declined at the first bid we put in. But that is going to end the first episode of our 5th season here in Career Mode, guys, and the first episode of our new team, Milan. So thank you very much for watching today's episode of Career Mode, guys. Really hope you have enjoyed it. Now, don't forget, if you can get this episode to 2,000 likes, then I'll upload episode number 108 and the second episode of the 5th season later on tonight. So there is your challenge, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see a next episode of Career Mode and get this video to 2,000 likes, and I'll see you for that one, hopefully, later on tonight.